Hello, welcome to episode 1 of my Final Fantasy VII OG, the original Final Fantasy VII from the late 90s, Let's Play. This is not a blind Let's Play, because I beat this game back in the day, and I've beaten this game a couple times since then. This is my second Let's Play. I just finished a blind Let's Play of Dark Souls 3. It was pretty damn fun. It was very frustrating. That was not my first From Software game. But it was still frustrating as shit. Holy fuck. I'm gonna drop a review of that game fairly soon, but I'm gonna take a break for a few days from it because I literally just finished it like 20 minutes ago, and I'm gonna let my thoughts process. I'm not gonna watch anybody else's reviews or thoughts on it until I've done my review, so that my thoughts don't get muddled with everybody else's. But I digress. This is my second Let's Play, and I'm not gonna take too much time before I jump into this. But let me just say, the reason that I'm doing this Let's Play thing, aside from just wanting to have a social media presence, get a following, and perhaps create an online career for myself, over time, you know, I know that takes years to happen in most cases, and that's fine. But the reason why I'm doing this, which I explained in the last Let's Play many times, is that, in brief, I need an outlet. I need somewhere to share my thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on life. I'm 37 years old, almost 38. I've been a deep thinker literally since I was a little kid, as far back as I can remember. I've always had deep thoughts. I've always had unique thoughts. When I was a kid, I was always known as being smart and outspoken. Someone who would just... And I'm sure, you know, everybody knows a kid that was like this, or was the kid like this, that would just blurt things out that were not what you're supposed to say. The kind of things that everybody's thinking, but nobody says it out loud. Like I gave the example that I won't even go into the stories. I'll get into the stories eventually. Point is, I don't have an outlet in my real life for people that want to sit and listen to me. And that's fine, because I have a lot of thoughts. A lot of them are controversial, or at least they can be, because I don't self-censor in the way that a lot of people do. I am willing to tackle any subject. I'm willing to tackle cringe or controversial points of views on things. But I don't, it's not like I'm seeking that just for the sake of it, you know? I'm not saying poo-poo caca just because it's funny, to be metaphorical. I just care about life. I'm interested in life. And I care about the world. I don't want the world to be fucked up, but it is fucked up. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the beautiful, amazing things of life. And sometimes those can be not controversial, but, you know, throughout my life, when I would talk about some of the more out there things in life, even in terms of how amazing life was, a lot of people that are just quote-unquote normies don't want to hear about it, because they don't really see life that way. They're too stressed out with their daily life. They're too busy thinking about their job, their business, whatever's going on the news. I can't be constrained like that. I just can't help it, and I don't want to help it. Life is really interesting. There's a lot going on with it, and I want to talk about it. And that's not an uncommon thing these days. But it was when I was growing up, and I guess I'm still a bit in that mode. And I also feel like, as much as there is a lot of discourse these days, a lot of it gets very samey, where a lot of people get on the same trains of thought, and then, like echo chambers. We all know the term echo chambers now. There are a lot of echo chambers where there aren't a ton of new ideas introduced. It's like, how much can you talk about without saying anything? Well, a lot of people possess that skill. And that's not to shit on people, it's just a fucking fact. So I need an outlet, and the perfect way to have an outlet, because whenever I would try and make a solo podcast or solo vlog, if I put the camera or the microphone on myself and I just turn it on, I go kind of blank-minded. Even though when I'm in the shower, or when I'm on a nature hike, or when I used to smoke weed, my thoughts would just go and go and go, and I'd have these big, long, interesting trains of thought that I would think, man, if only I were on a popular podcast right now. If only I was on Joe Rogan's podcast right now. This would be the perfect thing to say to a giant audience that's relevant to whatever is currently going on in modern culture, or is relevant to the human condition. And if people could only just think about things this way that I'm thinking about it right now, I think it would be really beneficial. I think it would add something big and important to the larger discussion. These are the kind of thoughts I want to share. All kinds of thoughts, really. I mean, sometimes I'm very stupid and just kind of doing funny accents or funny little jokes and being entertaining. A lot of the time, I'm commenting on the game, and that's why doing a let's play, or eventually I'll figure out streaming. I'm moving at the end of this month, at the end of May, so it's not going to be a good time for me to start streaming. I'm just going to start with the let's plays right now. But having a game to talk about and to commentate over gives me something to fill in the gaps with. It's the lubricant, like alcohol at a bar is a social lubricant, like coffee and food at a coffee shop or a restaurant is a lubricant for discussion. Like a book club, the books are the lubricant for discussion and socialization. You know, it's the centerpiece. A dinner party, the dinner and the drinks and the room is the centerpiece around which the communication and the congregation and the connection can take place, and the discussion. So if I have a game to talk about and to commentate over, and how I did it in Dark Souls 3 was, aside from, you know, listening to the dialogue in that game and reading the item descriptions, which is where you got a lot of the lore, and I would commentate on that. I would give my thoughts on that, my meta thoughts, so to speak, my overarching thoughts about, well, this is going on in the game and that's going on in the game. Isn't that interesting? Is this a pattern here? And for anybody who knows the From Software games like Dark Souls 3, you know that those games leave a lot open to interpretation. So that's a great game for that kind of thing. This game should be even better, because as anybody who has played a lot of these 1990s RPGs, a lot of them are heavily philosophical, and they're really designed to get you thinking. And this game is a perfect example of that. So there should be no end of interesting things, plot-wise and philosophy-wise, for me to talk about, discuss, commentate on, and to get my thoughts going. And so that takes the pressure off of me to always have something interesting of my own to say, because I can always be commentating on the game, and then my own personal thoughts will bubble up, and I can intersperse those throughout this. So that's the goal. I'm going to commentate on the gameplay too. This isn't going to be a particularly difficult game, especially since I've beaten it several times, and I know it's just not that hard. Compared to a From Software game, which was very fucking hard at certain points. So there's not going to be as much for me to talk about in terms of commentating my strategy and my thought process about how I'm approaching this game, but there will still be some of that in this game, because there are some strategic decisions to be made in difficult boss battles. Maybe if I eventually do the Ruby weapon and the Emerald weapon. Materia is the coolest part of this game, in my opinion. I fucking love the Materia system, so there will be a lot to say about that. There's definitely a lot of hidden secrets in this game, some of which I remember where they are and how to get them, some of which I don't. I'm not going for 100%. I'm not doing anything like getting Aerith's final limit break. I'm just going to play it off the dome. I'm just going to have fun. It's going to be in the moment. And that's what this is. So if you're with me so far through 10 minutes of intro and rambling, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I'm curious to see whether this game will get more views than Dark Souls 3. Obviously, Dark Souls 3 is a lot more recent, fairly popular. It's not the most recent, most relevant From Software game. That's Elden Ring. This is very old. It's an extremely, popular and legendary game, but it's quite old. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is new and relevant, so we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I get some people coming around. If you do come around, please feel free to leave a like. I hate to sound like a used car salesman, but if you like it, like it. If you like what I'm doing, stick around. Watch a bunch of episodes. Like, go back and check out my Dark Souls 3 Let's Play. I've got it all in a playlist, 146 episodes. Drop a subscribe. If you like what's going on here, drop a sub. If you're going to come back and you want to come back and find more. If something I say is interesting to you, please feel free to leave a comment. I want the connection. I want the discussion. More so than just the algorithmic. It helps me in the algorithm. The more impressions I get, the more likes, comments, shares, subscribes I get, the more the algorithm will put me in front of more people, which helps me, which I do want that. Don't get me wrong. I do want that as well. But also, I want the interaction, the camaraderie, the interestingness of it all. If at any point I get off on some super long discussion in JAG and you find it to be an interesting discussion that gets you thinking about something, leave a long comment and I will absolutely reply. Or do what they used to do 10, 15 years ago in the older days of YouTube, leave a video reply. Just be like replying to Eric McLennan, this subject. Drop a comment, let me know that you did a video reply, I'll check that out. I miss in the old YouTube days where people would have entire conversations and create sometimes entire communities around sending video replies back and forth on certain interesting or controversial subjects. And eventually there'd be like dozens and dozens of video that tons of users had sent back and forth to one another, and anybody like me, just kind of in the public, just browsing YouTube, could watch and get sucked down a rabbit hole of some conversation people were having. I think like those were the most exciting days of YouTube for me. As much as there's a lot of amazing content on here now, and there's a lot of there's just a huge volume of content now, I feel like the quality and the heart and soul was more back in like the early days of YouTube from 2005 to 2015 or something like that. Anyway, let's start this damn game. Oh, and I can only do 60 minutes per episode because I'm on the PS4 and you can only record 60 minute videos. Let's go. Oh shit. So this is gonna have the special things because this is like the PS4 remaster. I'm not gonna use no encounters. I don't mind the random encounters. I am not going to use the battle boosts, which puts your HP, MP, and your limit break always at maximum. It's basically invincibility mode unless you get one shot. But I am absolutely going to use the 3x speed because these old games are so fucking slow that in my adult brain, I don't have the time and energy to wait around for the slowness of a lot of it the way I did when I was a kid with unlimited free time and never having played this before. So that's that. Let's go. Oh, baby. Starry Sky. Really deep, interesting games with good plots like this, you always learn new things every time you come back to it. Like, it's so interesting that it starts off in a starry sky. Obviously, I'll just say, because I've played this game before, I'll be spoiling this game throughout. It just is what it is. I'm not going to do it on purpose, but in general, here or there, like, if I have something interesting to say that references something that I know about stuff that happens later in the game, little references that I can catch, I will bring it up. Like, I will point it out. Like, obviously this game does have a lot to do with space and like something coming from outer space and influencing the planet. We see that the blackness of outer space, I could represent Jenova coming to the planet. Jenova Spoilers for Chrono Trigger. Jenova is a little bit similar to Lavos, I would say. And then you cut to Aeris with her green life force energy in Midgar City. Just a simple girl selling flowers, but she actually represents a bit of the counter force to Jenova. And there's the meteor. But that meteor, it's got the green life force. It's got the green color of the life force that was covering Aerith, Aerith sort of represents and is an emissary of. But Aerith also is from the stars as well, so to speak. She comes from that lineage as well. And the meteor comes into relevance later, but also, I mean, it's kind of like Jenova coming down from the stars. Fucking right. Awesome music. Barret. We got Biggs and Wedge, right? Come on, newcomer, follow me. Oh yeah, there's no voice acting, so I could be the voice actor. Let's fucking go. Oh, baby! Cloud Strife, this is me. Okay, let's see what I can do. This is what I do at the beginning of any RPG. As soon as I can get into the menu, I'm doing everything. I'm definitely gonna have to change that blue. It's a little too bright for me. I'll make it a nice dark red or something like that. Got my potion. HP, MP, Phoenix down. Yeah, arrange. I'll probably just do it field, since that'll be simple. Oh man, this music's good. Holy shit, no key items. Yeah, let's go into config right away. Gotta do the config. Let's, okay, we got 80, 128, 176, 32. So I'm just gonna change this into a red version of this. So all these blue values, I'm just gonna transfer into red. So I was 176. If it's too fidgety and I can't get it right on, I won't stress over it. Oh, nailed it. 176. When I was a kid, I would do like weird funky patterns. I would make every corner a different color. I'd put the 128 to like green or something. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do 128. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, 80. And then 32. Oh, ah! Is this, am I happy with this? Am I happy with this? Let's see what this does. Come on, land on 40. It's a little brighter. I don't know about that. Let's put these all at half of what they were. Let's say 40. 90, 88 rather, is what I'm aiming for. I know I didn't get this right on 40. There we go. 16. If I can learn how to count. 64. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then let's go like... Okay, I promise I won't spend too much time on this. It's just so fun. Let's do 44. And I'll do half there. I'll do 8. And then I'll do 20. 32. Come on. That's like an interesting little... Yeah, that's kind of cool. Alright. Cursor. Initial memory. We'll do initial just so that... like when I go into a lot of random battles, I can just hit X, 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 X to do all fight. Whereas if it's on memory, then it'll wind up somewhere else. It's just simpler for me to leave it on initial. Sound and music volume, that's got to be fine. Just to add a little bit of difficulty, we'll go on active. Battle speed, we'll do all fast. Fast. Hopefully I don't wind... If I wind up missing some kind of messages because of this, I'll turn some of them down. Auto or fixed. Oh, auto is like... I think that's in battles. Like, do you want it doing like the cinematic camera angles where the camera's always changing and flying around and doing different shit? So we'll leave it like that. Magic order, restore, attack, and direct. I'm sure that's fine. Okay. Alright, now this isn't blinding me. Limit. Braver. Fucking right. Now we just leave that. Order's fine. Status. I've never really even taken much time to like consider all the stats in a game like this, because there's not really much you can do to change them. You just kind of level up and equip some stuff. But strength, dex, vitality, magic, spirit, luck. So I would say, well, let's take some guesses. Obviously we've got HP and MP. We know what those do. Strength is gonna correlate with your attack power. Vitality is probably going to correlate with defense. Magic would be your magic attack. Spirit is probably your magic defense. Luck probably has to do with like chances of missing, chances of evading, chances of critical hits, and maybe chances of getting item drops. And then dexterity, maybe that's your accuracy is dexterity and evasion, and then luck is item drops maybe. Oh, it also shows at the bottom. Attack percent, defense percent. So there's your accuracy and your evasion. And you even have magic evasion as well. And it looks like there's no magic accuracy, so that implies that magic is just always 100% accurate. Buster Sword. Oh, you can't... Some games, like, you can just, like, mash a button as fast as possible and it'll play the sound effect as fast as possible. Not the case there. There's like, oh, it does. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Unironically. Okay, we got Ice and Bolt, fucking right. Oh my god, this brings me back. What a fucking good game. Alright, we're set up. We're set up, and then... Is this my speed? No, that's like invincibility. That's no encounters. So it's L3. It's L3 that I'm gonna keep my thumb on. Fucking right. Here we go. Oh, you can't... Okay. I'll keep it off for a little bit. Once this gets boring, I'll turn it back on. Boom. Okay, if I hold X, does that just choose attack again? I'm assuming yes. Oh, that battle message went by really fucking fast. Machine gun. Yeah, I might need to turn that battle message back down again. Otherwise, I won't be able to fucking read any of it. So I can hold X and it'll just auto-select fight again. Level 7, got some Gil. What is Gil? You know? What the hell is Gil? Oh, there's my select button. For those of you who didn't know, if you press select in Final Fantasy VII, which on Final Fantasy, or which on PS4 is the big, like your, whatever the hell is that big enormous button in the middle of your gamepad, it turns on that, which will show you exits in red, and I believe it'll show you maybe something else, maybe treasure chests or NPCs in green, for green, like green arrows or whatever. So that's interesting. Yeah, triangle is my menu. Circle, okay. Is there one that makes me walk slower? No. Nope. R button's nothing. D-pad walks slowly. Woo! Fucking right. Fucking right. Let's go. Okay, we go in here. Yeah, because with these pre-rendered backgrounds, as you can see, like instantly in the game, you could be like, where the fuck do I go? What is going on? I mean, oh, random battles. You know, it looks blurry to us right now. Oh, holding X does not just fucking continue battles. Or, like, does not just reselect fight. Oh, it does? But only if I don't have 3 times speed on. If I have 3 times speed on, it looks like I'm gonna have to manually click X over and over. I'll keep 3 times speed off, and I'll test that. Yeah, this... If you're not on an HD TV, if you're watching this on a CRT TV, this does not look as blurry. And also, if you're back in, you know, 1997 or whenever this came out, it does not look this blurry. Maybe it came out in 98. Because the CRT TV was just a fuzzier image. It wasn't a digital image. It was literally created by vacuum waves, I guess. It was displayed through kind of like a sort of a pixelized display, but the image itself was not created digitally. It was created in an analog manner. So this all looked a little bit more easy to see and kind of imagine what everything was. You can kind of see it the way I'm imagining it a little bit better if you kind of like squint your eyes and kind of unfocus your eyes a little bit. But anyway, you can imagine why this functionality might be needed. Oh yeah, you can see my pointer over my head too. Because you might be like, where the fuck do I go? I mean, probably you would just kind of run down here and figure it out just by moving around. Okay, let's hold X and let's see if we auto-select attacks. We do. So now let me put on ×3, and I'm still holding X and nothing gets selected. Oh yeah, I need to go and change the message speed. Am I right or am I right? I'm right about that. Okay, battle speed fast is fine. Battle message, let's take that right down to slow, quite frankly. And if that gets too annoying, I'll put it back like halfway in the middle. But we'll just see. I always like to go back in and confirm that it actually saved that change. It did. Okay. Yeah, you would kind of walk down to the end and just kind of like walk around, and eventually you'd be like, oh shit, I must have gone through a door. Sup, dude? Trying to talk? Okay. Biggs. Wow, you used to be in Soldier, huh? Not every day you find one in a group like Avalanche. So these guys were part of this, this like eco-terrorist group, Avalanche. Soldier, aren't they the enemy? Jesse, oh, she's the girl. What's he doing with us in Avalanche? He was in Soldier, Jesse, but he quit and is with us now. I didn't catch your name. Oh, here we go. Should I give my guys all custom names, or I don't really have. You know, when I was back in like when I was a kid playing this stuff, I'm gonna drink some of my orange pop here. When I was a kid playing this stuff, I would like name the main character me, and I would name the guys as my friends, and then I would name the girls like whatever girls in my, you know, in my current grade that I had a crush on or something. I don't think I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, times have changed. Times have changed. Let's just go with the default. That's usually what I wind up doing. Start. Oh, okay. Yeah. Boom. Cloud. Interesting name, right? Cloud. It's a sky-based name. It's like Final Fantasy VIII. They followed that same pattern. By naming the main character Squall. So this guy is a cloud. He's like, maybe that means it represents him being like a thinker. It's like a thought cloud. Whereas Squall is like a more stormy character. This guy's more of a quiet thinker. Cloud, eh? I'm... Oh shit! I don't care what your names are. Once this job's over, I'm out of here. Damn! See, reading this is gonna give me way more context on the game that I never got when I wasn't reading it out loud. The hell you all doing? I thought I told you never to move in a group. Oh, they're trying to remain clandestine. Like we don't be seen. Don't let all the fucking gang members be seen together, you dumbasses. Our target's the North Mako reactor. I know people say it Mako. I like Mako. Our target's the North Mako reactor. We'll meet on the bridge in front of it. Let's go. Let's fucking do it. Yeah? Ex-soldier, huh? I don't trust you. Barrett. Barrett, what does that name represent? Barrett. Barrett to me makes me think of a barrette, which is like a woman's like hair clip thing. I guess like a Beretta. There's the car that's a Beretta. There's a gun that's a Beretta. Oh, a gun that's a Beretta, right? He's got a gun on his arm. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, he's breaking the third wall. Ex-soldier, eh? I don't trust you. By the way, press the directional buttons while pressing circle to run. Okay. Oh, shit. FMV, full motion video. God damn. Oh, that was a sick camera angle change. That's the Mako reactor. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You're gonna have to deal with some shitty, you know, singing and humming and whatnot. Some of it'll get good. I have my moments of brilliance with my singing, but machine gun fighting these like Shinra fucking Shinra soldiers, not to be confused with all capital soldier. The other game that I debated doing as my second Let's Play besides this one was Chrono Cross, since that is like, out of all these late 90s PS1 RPGs, that one is my favorite out of all the ones that I've played. But I did play it very recently, like a couple months ago, so I felt this would be better since I haven't played it since 2019. I should play with this on, even though it's a little bit, you know, immersion breaking or whatever. I should play with that on just so I don't miss any fucking entrances and whatnot. Yes, circle doesn't seem to matter to me. Oh, you know why it told me to press circle? Okay. For all you youngins that don't know this, or for all you old people like me who don't remember, I just fucking realized why it told me hold circle in order to run. Meanwhile, I'm moving around on the analog stick without pushing any button, and I'm running. And it's the D-pad that makes me walk. That's the only way to walk. There isn't even, like, it seems like, oh, let me, oh, I got my limit break. Let me, okay, D-pad and then hold circle. Okay, and then you can see the difference, that like kind of digital running where, like with this, there's only 8 directions. And actually that's down. That's one of the funny things about this game is sometimes it's hard to know what direction to push in order to go in a certain direction. And that will change too, depending on the map. Sometimes up will be up, sometimes up will be up right, and sometimes up will be up left, and you just gotta get used to it. And sometimes moving map to map, it'll change, and you'll wind up like running back into a door you just ran through. It's just something you gotta get used to. But when this game came out, the PS1, maybe the DualShock had already been invented, the PS1 controller with the 2 analog sticks. But if it was already invented, it was not the default yet. So it was known that when the PS1 came out in 1995, it only came out with a D-pad. It did not have analog sticks. So a lot of the games, most of them really, other than, I think like Ape Escape was specifically made for the analogs, but most games were designed to be played with D-pad, and a lot of people had a lot of controllers lying around that were D-pad only, so you couldn't make a game that like relied on them having an analog stick. So that's why he's telling me to hold circle for run, because the default playstyle is with the D-pad, not with the analog stick. And you can see, like, there's literally only 8 directions with the D-pad, right? With the analog, oh, I guess it's the same with the analog. There's still only 8 directions, but it's a little bit smoother of a transition. Whereas if I run, but with the D-pad, it's like a more choppy transition between the directions. Oh, alright, let's see Braver. Let's see the first limit break for the first time. Oh, these were so epic back in the day. Woo! Let's go! God damn! Let's fucking go. Alright. Nothing over here. Oh, here we go. We're connecting. Let's go. We're headed towards the Mako reactor. I'll secure our escape passage. You concentrate on the mission, Cloud. Jeez, we're really gonna blow this huge furnace up? This will be something to see. Yeah, these guys are a little bit in over their heads, eh? They're kind of wet behind the ears. You can tell that Barret and Cloud are the two most mature ones here, and the other ones are just kind of like, yeah, let's go! Maybe it's just Biggs and Wedge. Maybe Jesse's a little more mature and less excitable. We'll have to see. But yeah, like literally, they're going to blow up. Like it would be like the equivalent of blowing up like a fucking, maybe not a nuclear reactor in the sense that they're not going to create nuclear fallout, but it would be like blowing up an enormous fucking power plant in the real world. Like it's not just, I don't know, you're not just going to, you know, kicking somebody's fucking mailbox over or something like that. Like this is a big fucking deal. Man, they made it, like the lighting below the bridge, how it gets brighter down there, it creates a sense of, like there's some lights down there, and it creates a sense of distance. Like maybe there's a little bit of extra blurring on the stuff below the bridge. Like they actually managed to, let me just turn that on, yeah, let's not waste too much time. Hit by fire. Oh, I couldn't even see that enemy. Yeah, it creates a sense of distance, like the way it's like a little bit more visible up here, but then down here it's like foggier, the stuff that's behind the bridge. Makes it look like you're high up. Pretty fucking cool. 37, ooh, the music changes. We're 37 minutes into this, so when we get close to 60, I'll have to end. And this, I'll probably only do this one, what time is it? Yeah, it's 8:12. I'll probably end at the end of this for tonight, and then I'll start recording more tomorrow. But I just wanted to get this started because I'm pretty stoked to be doing this. Oh, this tense music. Yeah, doesn't that just underscore just what I was just saying? Like, Wedge is all, like, excited, like, oh my god, this is crazy. We're gonna blow up this big fucking furnace? This is gonna be kind of a big deal, eh? And you go in here and it's like, yeah, Barret knows this is some serious shit. Yo, this your first time in a reactor? No, after all, I did work for Shinra, you know? The planet's full of Mako energy. People use it here. People here use it every day. It's the lifeblood of the planet, but Shinra keeps sucking the blood out with these weird machines. We're not here for a lecture, let's just do it. Cloud does not give a fuck. He literally doesn't give a shit. Isn't that kind of like what I was saying at the beginning of this? How sometimes it's hard to get people to care about what I consider to be big, important subjects. Some people don't want to hear about it because it's controversial. Some people don't want to hear about it because they're worrying about their own, like, the details of their own personal life that's stressful. Some people don't want to hear about it because they think it's kooky or wacky or you're a crazy person for thinking about that. Some people are just straight up brainwashed. Some people are very small-minded. And Cloud, who knows what's his deal exactly. I know that this story, as much as I remember a lot of it, one of the other features of these PS1 highly philosophical RPGs is that you get to the end of the game and you still feel confused, like, wait, what the fuck all just happened? I find a lot of the details, even in this game, to be, like, hard to remember and hard to wrap my head around, even as I'm playing through it. So, I'm going to be learning a lot, relearning, and probably learning for the first time stuff about Cloud and some of these other characters. But, Barret's trying to... I guess that implies that Cloud is new in this group. I mean, obviously he's new, like, he was just getting introduced to Jesse, right? I'll just throw this out there. For anybody who doesn't already know this, this is pretty popularly known, but one, Biggs and Wedge, or as they were called in Final Fantasy VI, Vix and Wedge, are like common characters throughout the Final Fantasy series. They're in a lot of the games. As are many things throughout the Final Fantasy series. A lot of people know this, but for people who don't, I'll just say it. The Final Fantasy games have many things that are common throughout them. Generally, the plots don't carry over one game to the next, but it's just like the spirit of Final Fantasy and the spirit of what a Final Fantasy game is carries over. And certain enemies, certain characters, certain NPCs carry over. Things like Chocobos, things like there's always a character named Sid, and these characters Biggs and Wedge. And Biggs and Wedge is a reference to Star Wars. There was characters named Biggs and Wedge that I think were like, they were rebel pilots, like alongside Luke in the Rebellion in Star Wars: A New Hope, I believe. All right. So Barret is kind of giving me a little breakdown, and I guess that also implies that not only is Cloud new, but Barret is actually passionate about this. Like he's not just here like, okay, here's what we need to do the job. He's trying to get Cloud invested. Like, here's why we're doing this. There's all these Mako reactors, and they're sucking the lifeblood out of the planet, and we think that's not okay. Barret is like, whatever, you don't care, whatever. Alright, you come with me from now on. Cloud's just a hired gun, so fuck it. As long as you do your job, who cares? Party member. No magic. We can check out his stats compared to Cloud's. Cloud has more attack, Cloud has less accuracy, Cloud has less defense, same evasion. Cloud's got way more magic attack, which makes sense since he actually has magic. He's got more magic defense as well. Right on. Limit break. Big shot. Got that big ol' shot. Yeah, you can't even mess around with materia yet, even though Cloud's got some on him. Jesse, Biggs and I got the code for this door. Fucking right. Good job, Jesse. Biggs, code deciphered. Boom. Got another door? Think of how many people risk their lives just for this code. Oh, Biggs is getting introspective. I like that. Think of how many people risk their lives just for this code. He's talking about probably they know somebody on the inside of this place. Somebody with a top secret code that there would be real massive consequences for them in order to be able to pass it on to some other person, to Biggs. Something like that probably. Or to Jesse. And it's like every single person in that chain was taking a risk, either for money or because they believed in the cause. Code deciphered. So, these old RPGs, and generally it's more common in games that you talk to an NPC once. Usually you talk to an NPC once and they're done talking. If you talk to them again, they're going to say the exact same thing again. Sometimes if you come, if you're in a town and you talk to everybody and then you do a bunch of stuff in the plot and then you come back later and stuff has changed, then often you can talk to everybody again and they may have changed, maybe some or all of them changed what they say, but it's not like in Dark Souls 3 or the From Software games where every single NPC needs to be talked to multiple times in order to exhaust their dialogue and potentially further their quest or get whatever items they might give you. That's something that I didn't learn until maybe Elden Ring. It took me a while to learn that. I had to talk to everybody multiple times in the From Software games. But I digress. Code deciphered. Let's go. Let's fucking do it. So you say something different? Nope. Anything over here? Nah. Okay. Push that button over there. Switch on. Main screen, turn on. Oh, the little swaying up and down to show me that I'm in a moving elevator. Cool, cool. Little by little, the reactors will drain out all the life. Then that'll be that. Oh, so he's going on again in his passionate rants about how they're draining the life out of the planet. Cloud shrugs. It's not my problem. So he's a cold motherfucker right now. He's a cold motherfucker. A little bit unrelatable right now. But it's telling you, okay, what is with this guy? He's from some organization called Soldier. These guys are with an organization called Avalanche. Is that a reference to, like, they're trying to be the pebble that starts the avalanche that destroys Shinra? Like, they're too small to destroy Shinra on their own. They're just a pebble. Shinra's a mountain, but they can start an avalanche. But Cloud's part of Soldier, and he don't give no fuck about the planet right now. He's just here for money, as I believe we'll find out soon. The planet's dying, Cloud! The only thing I care about is finishing this job before security and the robo-guards come. Yeah, this guy's a cold fucking mercenary right now. Barrett's pissed! Oh, this fucking guy right here. Oh, I thought he was gonna slap him. Oh, this music. Let's fucking go. Na na, ba na na na. Oh baby, let's get him. Let's get him, Barrett. Cloud's at half health. I'll have to watch that. I can become relevant for the boss coming up. 47 minutes into this run. I might stop right before the boss, because the boss will take a little bit. I'll probably do all the bosses at normal speed. I won't speed through those, because the boss battles are kind of the most fun strategic parts of this game for me. And it's going to be hard too, because I'll probably wind up on rants sometimes, but I'll try not to over-level my character. We'll see what happens. It's more fun if you don't over-level your character, because it makes the boss fights a lot more strategic and interesting. We'll see how it goes. Jesse, press X in front of the ladder to grab onto it. Oh, it might be the green arrows show ladders. Then use the directional buttons to climb up and down. Fucking right. I mean, this is back, like, when I first played this game, and it was showing the buttons in the dialogue box and the highlighted color of the text. This was probably new in games. I remember seeing stuff like that on the N64, like in Ocarina of Time. I don't know if that stuff was even really happening too much on the Super NES. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I feel lucky in a way that I grew up, like, where my first console was the NES, and I grew up, like, seeing the whole progression of popular video game consoles. It's been quite interesting. I mean, obviously, as you're growing up through it, you don't realize it, but looking back on it, I realized, like, I witnessed... I grew up right alongside these things. It's very interesting. Alright, ladders. Yeah, there's the green arrow. Ba-na, na, na, na. Oh, item. Potion. Press X in front of a ladder. Oh. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to end this run until I get to a save point. Damn! I forgot. This isn't a modern video game. You fucking end the run when there's a goddamn save point, motherfucker. And there's the save point. Alright. Yeah, 49 minutes in, that's perfect. We won't make it quite to 60 minutes, but that's it. That'll be the end of episode 1 of my final... Oh! Let's see if we can win this battle. Is this gonna be the end of our adventure? Oh god! It's a fucking giant machine. What is that, a fucking vacuum? Smoke shot? You're supposed to vacuum up the smoke, man! Oh, I guess he vacuumed it. That was a big dust cloud. He went and vacuumed it up and blew it all in my fucking face. Son of a bitch. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. For those who don't know, that victory theme, I don't know what was the first Final Fantasy game that had it, but that is like the Final Fantasy victory theme that's in all the games when you win a battle. That na 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 na. And I remember this game. This is the first one that had any like trippy synth going on in the background. All the earlier ones were like just like a basic take on na 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 na. And so when I first started playing this, and this is the first set of these games where they would give you a post-battle screen that would show you like a progress bar for your experience and how much experience you needed to get to the next level without going into your status menu, which I thought was great. And it's got this trippy like very cool. Very, very cool. Like super, super cool. Very cool arpeggiated chords there. For people who know music theory, I only know a little bit of it, but I can tell there's some sick arpeggiated chords there and some interesting chord progressions going on in that little synth tune that's playing along with the victory theme. I'm just listening to this music here. Very cool. Save point. Okay, let's potion up. Boom, perfect amount. Okay, obviously I'm not going to use a potion on him. That would be a waste. He only needs 8 health. We got 1 Phoenix down, so I can only take 1 death in the boss battle coming up. Otherwise, I'll wind up down a character. Ether, MP by 100. So in the next fight, I mean, for those of you who haven't played this game before, spoiler alert, there's a boss in the next room. It's like a big scorpion robot. And the basic strategy is going to be Barret just attacking it over and over. Cloud, I'll attack it once with Cloud, see how much damage it does, and then I'll use Ice on it and then Bolt on it. And I'll see which one of those 3 does the most damage, and then I'll just stick whichever one did the most damage. It'll probably be one of the spells. Probably Bolt, maybe, since he's a machine. And then I'll stick with that. And yeah, if I do wind up using magic over and over with Cloud, wait till he gets low on MP, use an Ether on him. If somebody dies, use a Phoenix down. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. They've all got a fair bit of health. So, you know, I'll use potions when they get low on health, since I don't have any heal spells. And that's it. Let's fucking get a save in here. Oh, they were all grayed out. I was like, what do you mean? I can't save? Fucking right. 35 minutes in. All right. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. That is the end of my first episode of my Final Fantasy VII OG. I believe it was 1998. Because I think maybe it was 97. Either way. Of Final Fantasy VII, the original, the real Final Fantasy VII. And just to be honest, I've beaten almost every Final Fantasy mainline game. I tried Final Fantasy VII Remake. I really didn't like it. The graphics were incredible, and that's about all I liked about it. I felt like they changed the character of a lot of the characters to make it more like modern. You know how when they remake a movie and everybody is like more modernized and not acting the way they did in the original movie? It's kind of like that. I don't like it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the hallway simulator aspects, the way it was kind of like Uncharted or The Last of Us or the new God of War, or all these games where you just fucking walk down a fucking hallway with somebody and you listen to them talk for a fucking while. I don't love that shit. Like, I didn't love how, like, you would play the game for 3 minutes and then be interrupted by another one of those, and then play for 3 more minutes and then be interrupted by another one of those, and then play for 2 more minutes, then you're interrupted by a cutscene. I didn't love it. I really didn't love that they changed the fucking story so much. I only got about 10 hours into the game. I got just past the part where they added in the mission about going off to like Jesse's mom's house or whatever, and then you fight that guy Roche with the way over the top fucking stupid motorcycle bullshit. It was just too fucking much. And they made it so that, like, all the male characters, other than Barrett, because he's black. Like, Barrett's black, so he's allowed to be cool. But then, like, Biggs and Wedge and Cloud are all just kind of like whiny losers, or like simpy kind of like beta males, quote unquote. And then, like, Barrett's just super cool, and then Tifa's obviously the coolest, and she's amazing, and Jesse's amazing. They're all just so cool and amazing and awesome. You know, just not a big fan. I mean, leave a comment if you think I'm wrong about that, but I didn't love it. But really, I didn't love them changing the fucking story too. I didn't love that. If people like it, you know, I'm happy for you for enjoying it, but I couldn't get through it. But probably, even with all the social, like the characterization of the character changes and the story changes, I probably would have made it through it if it weren't for the fact that they fucking interrupted the gameplay so much. And I didn't like the battle system either. I couldn't figure out how to do well. I felt like I was always taking like too many hits, and it just never clicked with me. Yeah. Anyway, this is the end of this Let's Play episode. I'll be back. I'll dive right into it tomorrow with episode 2, and who knows how fucking far I'll get tomorrow. Like, with the 3 times speed, I might get all the way through Midgar City tomorrow. Oh man, the beginning of this game all the way through the end of Midgar City is like fucking incredible. I remember the first time playing this game, it was my friend's birthday party, and it was me, him, and another guy, and he rented this game. It was new. And I think maybe we didn't even have a fucking memory card. It might have been one of those deals where we didn't even have a memory card, and we just had to leave the system on. And I remember we did make it out of Midgar City, and I remember thinking, like, dude, is this like the end of the game? I mean, you're a kid, you didn't know. Like, you just kind of believed the direction the game was leading you in. And at the beginning of this game, it makes it look like the big climax of the game is the end of Midgar City, taking on Shinra at the Shinra building and killing the president and Rufus and stuff. Of course, that's just basically the end of chapter 1 of this game. So, amazing memories. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that shit. But particularly, you know, if you got something to say about anything I'm saying, I really want the connection, the camaraderie, the discussion, the sharing of ideas, even if we don't agree. I mean, particularly, like, obviously discussion's better when you don't necessarily agree about everything, because then you have perspectives to offer that the other person hasn't thought about, or yeah, just doesn't sit and think about. Anyway, that's it. See you in episode 2. Peace out.